Okay, so yesterday we began the movement wave palm and swing willow, or willow palm, whichever one you want to call it. I'm just going to review quickly, very quickly, from the end of low hand moves the hands and adjusts the chi. Okay, so this is my third one I just did. So now again, instead of the standing up, my right hand, and I'm going to use my left hand now just because I'm facing the camera, so that if you're facing your screen and you want to copy me, I'm a mirror to you, okay? So I'll do this in mirror image. So I take my right hand and I push down at my eyes, my head, and I reach through and I stuff my fingers into the tofu, pressing into them. Then I turn with my pelvis and then across my body, and I bring it up to my shoulder. Remember, just below the collarbone. Now we're going to turn and look back, and we're going to let our whole body line back up behind. So I wrote something, I believe it was on yesterday's video, about how if the eyes move first, any kind of predator will always move its head to follow and then move its body to adjust. And that's what we're doing here, is we're trying to let our body work naturally. So that's actually how we normally should instinctively move, but a lot of societal things have sort of implanted themselves and made our bodies move much less naturally than they should. So from here, right? 1, 2, and I look and I turn and I set into that empty stance. This is where we were. So now, again, I'm a mirror image. I'm going to turn back and I'm just going to look at my palm. So this palm that's on my chest, I turn and I look at it and I turn the palm over. Okay? Now we're going to end up following our palm with our eyes all the way through this. So from here, I'm going to rotate my stance in. I hope I'm on camera here. I'll maybe step back just so you can see for sure. I rotate from here, from my hip, and I turn my elbow or my knee so my knees are together. There shouldn't be any pressure on this because remember, this is an empty stance. So there's no weight here. I'm just rotating together. No movement, no head movement, nothing. Okay, so from here, I turn and I look, my palm turns over, I rotate. Now I'm going to step backwards with this foot, my right foot for you. Step back and get a nice stretch from here. This is where we're going to really start feeling the stretch. And now we're going to watch as we take our palm and bring it down our body. And then we're going to turn our pelvis and across, bring our weight to the other side. And this palm is going to just go all the way across under our belly button. And up behind us into this same posture we've been using before. Okay, so I'll go through it nice and easy. So from the last one of these. Mirror image, your right hand. Turn and I look. I look. I look and I turn. Empty stance. I look, my palm turns, my leg turns. I step back into what's called a gongbu, a bow stance. My body starts to turn, so my pelvis, dantian, turns and it drags my little finger down my ribs, across, just around my navel. And then that little pinky finger comes up on my rib cage on the other side. And I'm still looking at it the whole time. So if you watch my eyes here, I'll do it properly instead of yapping. My eyes are intimately connected to where the palm of my hand is. Okay? Sifu Chen would say that it was like, oh, if only I had a prop like a big rock. Hey, look, a big rock. So if I had a big rock, it's like dantian is the light part, and the head is the heavy part. So the way he's moving, it's kind of how he put it to me, is if I want dantian to swing really hard, is I'll get my head just out of alignment, and dantian will automatically try to correct, because the legs will always try to come under you so you don't fall on your face. I've been doing that since you used to fall on your face when you were a kid, right? So you end up with this sort of, I'm not going to use the word wobbling because I'm the drunken guy, but it's wobbling. It's more like waves coming up on a shore. Like if I do the low hand set, I actually got a question to do from a very good friend of mine, close friend of mine. I don't know if I should mention Vanden's name on camera, but maybe I won't, you know, but a close friend of mine basically said that it'd be really great to see you do the form and shut the hell up. So I figure, you know, I'll do it quick. That way you can kind of see what I'm talking about, this sloshing sort of movement, this wave-like movement. Okay, I'll show you. I'll do it fast though. I think you can see probably, I'm trying to exaggerate it, the back and forth movement. It's just that when you do low hand, it's hard to do it tall. When you do low hand slow, you kind of got to fake it. You got to feel it on the inside because you're not doing it fast enough to feel the weight of your body. So you have to become much more sensitive as far as how you inhabit your body. You have to be able to feel what's proprioception, right? Where you are in space. So when I'm outside, like I'm lucky today, it's pretty easy because there's wind, which means when I'm doing this, I can feel the wind on my body and I can feel if I'm pushing into it or retreating from it, which gives me a nice easy slosh. Hopefully it looks okay. Actually, the first time I ever figured that out was because I hung my coat on a tree like that. And it was windy and I was getting cold. And I turned around. Actually, it might have been that coat. That's a really old coat. And it was blowing in the wind. Just like that. And I was like, that coat's better at Kung Fu than I am. So I put it on and tried to figure out what it was. Anyway,